Hi, welcome back to Dave's Garage. My name is Dave. I teach people how to play the saxophone. All of them, alto, tenor, soprano, baritone. We do it quite often right here in Dave's Garage. If you're in the La Mesa area of Southern California, please stop by. Glad to have you here. We'll play a little saxophone. We'll work on some stuff together. Or if you got a good Wi-Fi anywhere in the country, we'll figure out the time zone difference and we can do a Zoom lesson. All right, I do lots of those as well. So, and in the resurgence of COVID, that's kind of a safe way to play ball here. Anyway, I digress. Why do I digress? Because it's been freaking hot. Is it hot where you live? Oh baby, it's gotten hot here in Southern California. We're in the midst of summer. They call the dog days. I don't know, but I perspire. You do too, I'm sure. And it's hard to practice. It's hard to stay focused. It's hard to do anything when it's super, super, super hot. Unless you're running the air conditioning, but then your bill is like going to go sky high. Your bill, yeah, I know these petty concerns of ours, right? Here we live in this wonderful country. With wonderful opportunities. We get to look at this YouTube thing that we can do. We can start a YouTube channel and we can communicate with each other, which so many of you have been doing, and I appreciate that. Reach out to me, davegoodsax@gmail.com, or leave a comment below. I will get back to you, and all of you have made my life a much better place just by being here, by communicating. I've met so many cool people, have made so many new friends as a result of having done this channel. So thank you for making yourselves part of this whole experience, all right? All right, today this is Philosophy Day today here. Philosophy Day in the middle of summer. And I'm gonna ramble for a minute here because, this isn't really about a sax performance, sax playing. There's no technique thing here today. It's really just kind of one of those philosophy things. So if you don't dig it, this is the time to bail. Otherwise, I want to thank Scott's Bass Lessons. I know, Scott's Bass Lessons. Do I play bass? No. Do you play bass? Maybe. One of my favorite saxophone players, by the way, of all time, Wilton Felder. Wilton Felder was in the Crusaders, right? And he had a solo career as well, but he made more money as a bass player than a sax player. He was an on-point session bass player. Didn't play bass in the Crusaders, played sax in the Crusaders. You might have heard him in a song that made pop radio years back called Street Life. If you don't know Wilton Felder, look him up. Guy's got tone for days, great ideas, great player. But bass player, I digress. Back to Scott's Bass Lessons. So he had this thing, I subscribe to his thing because he's a brilliant teacher, and he has a lot of other brilliant teachers, and I think lessons are where you find them. So anyway, Scott's Bass Lessons, check him out. Thank you for this idea, Scott. I got an email from him the other day that said, Scott's Bass Lessons, are you stuck in the YouTube merry-go-round or roulette? Are you losing it, YouTube roulette, or something to that? I paraphrase, something like that. And I thought, absolutely, this is what happens. And here we have I have a YouTube channel, right? But it's exactly what happens. And so many of my students get caught up in this new world that we have, all right? This new world of prepackaged lessons, lessons on CD, lessons on downloads, YouTube. And YouTube is always coming at you with something new. The 3 bebop scales that you need to know, right? Or the one thing that you can do to solo immediately, or whatever it is. And I'm making all this stuff up off the top of my head here in this heat wave. So forgive me, but that's what I'm talking about today is the YouTube merry-go-round. So many of my students will start a project and not finish it. In fact, I've had teachers, I've taken private lessons before from cats that are like, every week is a different thing. I'll say, this is what I want to get better at. And we'll do like a lesson. Then the next week is like, well, we don't even remember the lesson we did the week before, so there's no review. We just go into a new thing, and then a new thing, and a new thing. Do I go back to those cats? No, I do not. Because it's important for me to have continuity, right? There's an order that one should learn things. Think about flying a plane. Is there an order in which you should learn how to fly a plane? Oh, hell yes. How about martial arts? Is there an order in which you should learn martial arts? Oh, hell yes. The problem is now that we have the pick and choose mentality, we can create our own experience on social media. We can curate our own news feeds on social media. We can do anything that we want on YouTube. And so we get onto YouTube and we get a lesson that sounds, this is pretty good here, but I'm going to liken this back now to martial arts. We're going to start out like with the moves. Here are the moves that you should know. But I want to skip ahead and be able to like break a concrete block with my fist, right? So I'm going to, skip everything in between and go to punching concrete blocks. No, not going to do that. But we do that. We so frequently will do that with our saxophone studies. And so I have students that don't maybe know how to, maybe what, say let's just your major arpeggios. They don't really know them, but we're going to skip ahead and be soloing like some major cat. And that's the problem with, with the YouTube mentality. The whole world of YouTube is just so hyper. And it's cool because there are so many wonderful, wonderful people. And I mean, I disparage nobody. I'll not take anything away from any teachers or any YouTube instruction. It's just that, as a student, it gets really boring doing scale, or don't do scales, doing arpeggios or doing your pentatonics or doing those kinds of things and getting them and figuring out how to turn those into a solo. It gets really kind of boring doing this thing where you're maybe just memorizing songs for like maybe a song a week, maybe a song a day, maybe whatever it is. You're getting a lot of heads together in practicing those. Maybe that's, it becomes a little bit boring. And the next best thing comes along, so we put that down. We're learning to transcribe a solo. It gets to the point where it's like, it's kind of hard, right? And we're learning that, no, we're not going to sound like that particular woman or that particular man on the saxophone. And we get discouraged, so we go to the next thing. Discouraged, go to the next thing. Discouraged, go to the next thing, right? Right? And the one thing, the antidote to that is to finish what you start. So that's the name of today's lesson. The title is Finish What You Start. That is so important for A, your saxophone self-esteem. Is there such a thing? Oh, heck yes. Your saxophone self-esteem, and then your ability to actually get better. When I was a kid, believe it or not, I was once a kid. God, my nose itches. Allergies, heat, everything. Okay, I'll quit whining, Dave. All right, I'll quit whining. Anyway, when we were younger, we would hear something. We would hear something that was like way cool. Maybe like a great player would come, and we get to go hear, like maybe stand outside a club and listen to that, or they'd come to school perhaps and give a little demonstration, and we get to hear that. You'd run home and you try to, whatever you remembered, you try to copy that on your horn. A student sent me some Kirk Whalum last night, and I stayed up till the wee hours trying to get that sound. Oh man, that's how we did it. We didn't have any YouTube. We didn't have the wonderful opportunities that you have today. But you also have the opportunity to skip from one thing to the next like a butterfly. It doesn't work because you don't finish one thing before you move on to something else. And I want you to, that's my grind today. I've got students who are amazing. They could be even more amazing. They own every possible, lesson book, lesson plan, study with great cats, but haven't really finished. And the finish part, putting the time into the stuff that's kind of boring. Yeah. Now there's a B part to all this. That's the A part. Finish what you started. And most of that's not going to be very interesting after the first, couple of lessons, when you realize, God, it's kind of hard. Yeah, this is not the easiest thing in the world to do. But you got to finish what you started. And the B part to this equation is that you're not going out and doing what should be done with this stuff, and that's play with other people. What? Yeah, I mean, is that what you wanted to do? Was just kind of hang out at home and play by yourself all the time? No, you want to go play with other people. There are all kinds of opportunities and options to do that. And if there aren't any near you, then go on Craigslist or one of those places and find someone that you can play with. Find a practice buddy or somebody that you can jam with, right? Like this, like there's an organ behind me, there's a drum kit. People will come over here and we'll play. In the era of COVID, we'll open the garage door and get plenty of flow and just have a few people so we can have distance. But if you feel, safe, go out and play. I mean, you got to do that. That's why we're doing all this stuff, is to play music with other people, right? I mean, sure, you can play. We're single note instruments. We're not going to be playing, the banjo on the front porch. Single note instruments want to play with other people. So get a piano friend, get a trumpet buddy, get anybody that you can that you resonate with, and just play. So practice, finish what you started, please. Finish what you started. Get better at it. Go through. I mean, what did Kobe Bryant, did he say this? If everybody looked at, a lot of people want to climb Mount Everest, and they show up and they look at that, they go, I'm going to climb this thing, and they see it and they go, oh, no, not going to climb Mount Everest. Well, you do little steps at a time, and they're hard, they suck, and they're boring. But you get back and you do it, and you just do it, and you do it, and you do it, and you will feel so much better about yourself as a player if you finish what you start. Okay, let me get off my soapbox here. That's my 2 cents. Comments in the comment section below, please leave comments. If you want to reach out and dive a little bit deeper into a subject like this and figure out a strategy for you so that you can finish what you're doing and be responsible to yourself and develop yourself as a player and feel better about yourself, drop me a line, davegoodsacks@gmail.com. Anyway, thanks for sitting through this ramble, this heat-induced ramble. I'm going to go and jump in the pool. I hope you have a pool to jump into with some air conditioning. Stay cool, people, and hey, play. Just keep playing, all right? No matter what, just keep playing, all right? Thanks for being here. See you again next time in Dave's Garage.